Artist.io. Music licensing.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Corey, and welcome to 30 Minutes to Unwind. Whatever brought you here today, I'm glad you decided to press play. Before we get into this week's episode, I just want to say this. If you're tuned in right now, there's a good chance your brain has been in playoff mode all weekend long. And this is one of my favorite sporting times of the year. You have the NFL playoffs and the college football playoffs. And today, we're going to unwind through football. That's right, you heard me say it, through football. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. You ever notice how playoff football just feels different? Like people who barely even watch during the regular season suddenly care. Everybody's focused, everybody's locked in. And it's not just because it's football, but because it's the playoffs. The playoffs gives us something simple to care about. For a few hours, the biggest problems in the world is that they convert on fourth down. Not how will I get through work next week. Okay, maybe your favorite team didn't make the playoffs. That happens, I understand. But I recommend watching the game anyway. You never know. All right, let's take a look at college football. Miami beat Ole Miss Thursday in the semifinals. And Friday, Indiana beat Oregon in the semifinals. Now the National College Football Championship game is set. Miami versus Indiana. It'll be a home game for Miami because the game is in Miami. I really don't care who wins. I just want to see a good game. But I can say I was happy that Indiana beat Oregon on Friday. And if I had to pick one team, I'm going to go with Indiana and the Big Ten. But if you've ever been to a college football game and an NFL football game, the games are different. College football players show more emotion because for some of them, they can realize that this could be their last game. And when you're in that atmosphere, you have the bands rocking, the fans are going crazy. When that energy hits you and pulls you in, you're not thinking about tomorrow. You're present in the moment. And that's what football brings. All right, let's shift focus to the NFL. The NFL playoffs are officially underway. The Seattle Seahawks are the number one seed in the NFC, and the Broncos are the number one seed in the AFC. Both teams had byes over the weekend, so they don't play till next weekend. Last season, neither team made the playoffs. However, this season, both teams improved and finished with 14-3 records. Not a lot of experts expected this, but they'll say otherwise. And you know exactly who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say any names. All right, so the NFL wildcard weekend started on Saturday with the Rams at the Panthers and the Packers at the Bears. So the first game, Matthew Stafford dropped a dime to Kobe Parkinson with 38 seconds left to give the Rams the lead 34-31, and they held off the Panthers. The Bears were down 21-3 at halftime, but ended up winning a wild game. On Sunday, the 49ers took the lead on a trick play touchdown pass to McCaffrey, and then closed out with another touchdown pass to McCaffrey with less than 3 minutes left in the game to upset the Eagles to close off the NFC wildcard weekend. So now the NFC divisional round starts on Saturday with San Francisco at Seattle and ends Sunday with the Rams at the Bears. I'm going to go with San Francisco winning against Seattle and the Rams winning against Chicago. All right, let's take a look at the AFC wild card. So the AFC wild card weekend started on Sunday. The Bills beat the Jags 27-24. Josh Allen did his thing. And the Sunday night game, the Patriots won an ugly game against the Chargers, 16-3. It was a lot of defense, a lot of field goals. So the Texans will play the Steelers Monday Night Football to close out the AFC wildcard weekend. And the AFC divisional round will start on Saturday with Buffalo at Denver and will end Sunday with the winner of the Texans versus the Steelers playing against the Patriots. So I'm going to go with Buffalo beating Denver and the Steelers winning Monday night game and then win a close game against New England. I know that might sound crazy to a few folks, but I got to roll with my Steelers. So the playoffs are different. There's something about playoff football that just feels different. It's not just a game, it's the urgency of the game. Every game has pressure, every play matters, and one mistake can flip everything. And that's how a lot of us are living. Like we're always in the fourth quarter, always under the clock. When you've been in go mode all week, everything feels like a 2-minute drill. That's why people love the playoffs. It gives us a place to shift our focus for a little while, and then the pressure isn't on you. You're not the one making the calls. You're not the one being judged. You're just watching the chaos instead of being in the middle of it. And on some points, that's relaxing in its own way. You can yell at the TV, no matter how loud you yell, they can't hear you. You can stress out about a third down call. You can tell the coaches what plays they should be calling. You can yell at the refs. You can ride that emotional wave without it being about your real life, just for that moment, just while that game is on. And the emotional wave is not being irresponsible. That's just a mental release. But you got to stay in control. Don't break your new TV you got for Christmas or smash your phone. You got to temper your expectations because it is just a game at the end of the day. And when I take a look at the NFL, I mean, at times it's like pure survival. You lose, you go home. There's no we'll get it next week. Every snap matters, but your life is a constant playoff run. You win, you lose, you still got to line up tomorrow. So those moments when you can just sit back and focus on one thing and just breathe, that's how you keep from burning out. And when you sit down on the couch with your snacks, the game on, a little bit of quiet around you, you're not just watching football, you're giving your brain permission to lock into something simple. Who wins this play? Who makes this catch? Who gets to stop? No emails, no group chats, no what's for dinner. I mean, you should think about food, but it's just football. And that matters more than we realize. Because all day long, your brain is juggling problems and you're dealing with pressure. The playoffs gives you something that doesn't ask you to do anything. You just have to sit back and watch the game. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to decide anything. You just get to watch. And that's not being lazy. That's mental recovery. That's your mind getting a break from carrying everything. And whether it's football, a movie, music, or sitting in silence, the moment when your brain can focus on the simple things, that's unwinding. That's self-preservation in real time. So if you're on the couch this weekend or throughout the week, don't feel guilty. You're not checking out of life. You're giving your mind what it needs so you can come back sharper. You can be calmer. You can be more present. And here's the part that most people miss. When you give yourself time to enjoy something like watching playoff football, you're not being lazy. You're refueling because all day long, your brain is problem solving mode. What needs to be done? Who needs something from me? What's coming next? And that constant thinking takes real energy. So when you sit down and watch a game, you finally get to switch gears. It's not planning, it's not fixing or worrying, unless you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. It's just reacting. Who made the catch? A touchdown here. A stop on third down. That simple focus that gives your brain a break from carrying everything else. And that's important because your mind never gets to break. It starts to wear down. You get shorter, you get more irritable. Even things you normally enjoy start to feel like work. So that time on the couch, when the game is on, you have your snacks in hand, that's not wasted time. That's your nervous system calming down. That's your brain resetting so you can go back into real life with a little more patience, a little more clarity. And like I said again, that's not laziness, that's self preservation. You're not checking out of life, you're making sure you don't burn out. So whether you're locked into the NFL playoffs or riding with your college team, let yourself enjoy it. Put the phone down, sit back, and enjoy the game. All right. So if you tuned in last week, you know I ride with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and my college football team is the Michigan Wolverines. All right. For my big game predictions for the college football national championship game, I'm going to go with Indiana. And for the Super Bowl, the fan in me says Pittsburgh versus the Rams. But realistically, I think it might be Buffalo versus San Francisco. All right, so leave me a comment. Let me know if your college team or your NFL teams are still in the playoffs. And if not, who do you want to see win? And who do you want to see go home? All right, do me a favor. Follow the show, leave a review, share with someone who can use the message, tell a friend to tell a friend. For guest info, season updates, and show details, follow me on X at controlroom_media. That's Charlie, November, Tango, Romeo, Lima, room_media. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on Spotify and Apple Podcasts by searching 30 Minutes to Unwind. All right. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next Tuesday. We'll get back to regular business. All right. Peace. Go Pittsburgh.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.